Hello and welcome back to Coding with T. In today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to create a product form or how we can create a product. So to add product inside the database, the first thing we need is the design. So we have to create a form in which we are going to accept multiple type of things. So the design is very important and also the today's tutorial. So let's first quickly see what we are going to create. Currently, we are inside our e-commerce admin panel and we have almost created dashboard, media is completed, banners design, categories design, and brands design is completed. And today the product design will also be completed. So if you go to the products and inside over here, you can see this is what we created in the previous tutorial. So this part is completed, but when I'm going to click on this add product, the today's tutorial is about to create a design like this in which we have the product title, product description, and if you see the white boxes, I try to add everything as a separate widget so that we can easily manage the things. So first of all, let's quickly talk about how the layout is. You have to remember each and everything, and this is what we are going to implement in the tutorial. So if you see the tutorial, first of all, we have created a row. Inside that row, we have two main columns. The first column is this one, and in the first column, you can see we have the basic information. The first widget that we are going to create is the title and description. We are going to learn how to create a description or a text field like this in which we can create next lines or the multi lines. Then in the same column, we are going to learn how to create stock and pricing with a widget of product type, single and variable. Then we're going to create the stock and pricing fields. This is a stock, this is a price, and you can see we cannot add any. I'm trying to add any other character other than the numbers. So we cannot add it. We can add the numbers, we can add dot, and you see that is going to automatically remove everything after two decimals, let's say 12.12. When I'm going to again try to write another thing, it is going to remove it because we can also add up to two decimals. In the stock, we can also cannot add anything other than numbers. We cannot add any signs or the characters as well. Same for the discounted price. And in the product attributes, we're going to add attribute like this one. Colors attribute name will be divided by this line. So let's try to add green and blue. So by clicking on this plus button, you can see previously it was empty and now we have one color with a green and blue attribute. We can create more attributes, sizes, small and large. Click on add and we have now two attributes because you can see we cannot generate variations because at the top we have a single product selected. When I'm going to click on the variable product, you will see another button over here. So let's click on this and you can see the stock, these stock price and discounted price values are also gone from here. So we have the product attributes. Based on these attributes, we are going to able to generate the variations, and also we have another section visible which is the product variation sections in which we will be able to see all the variations of green small, green large, blue small and blue large. So by clicking on this button, first of all you can see it is empty, there are no variations added, and let's click on create and you can see we have green small, green large, blue small, blue large, and this is a toggleable. So by clicking on this one, you can see we have a complete section with the image, again stock price, discounted price and description for a variation of green color and small. So you can dynamically create any type of attributes, any type of variations. We can add other images for these as well. You can toggle them. And on the right side, we have a product thumbnail first of all. Then we have list of images. By clicking on this one, you will see we are going to pop up a media section in which we are able to select our images, add from them, close it. We can also click on this plus icon, and currently we have an empty list. But when once the images are selected, let's say in the brands, I'm going to select these four images, click on add, and you can see the four images are added over here. Currently, they cannot be scrolled because the list is not exceeding this design. So after that, we are going to use a widget or a package which is going to select a brand for us. So you can select any brand. Let's select the Jordan. Then we have the categories. Let's click on it. And you can see all the categories in a separate pop-up. So we're going to learn how to add this type of pop-up or the multi-select. So click OK. We have two categories over here. Then we have a visibility, published or hidden. And at the bottom, another widget, which is the bottom navigation widget, which is discard and save changes. So this is what we are going to create. Remember the design, and we are going to start with one widget at a time. Okay, we are creating Flutter e-commerce app and we are about to complete our second last section. Rest of all the sections, all the concepts and all the widgets that are already created. If you're new, I suggest you to watch the previous videos. You can get the playlist link of e-commerce app and also e-commerce admin panel down below in the description. And also you can download the complete code from the description below. So let's get started. Okay, we are inside our e-commerce admin panel. And in here, you can see the first thing we need to do, we need to add the remaining screens, which is the create product and edit product. These are the screens that we are targeting. So once these are added in the routes, let's close it. Now let's go to features, shop, screens, products, and inside. Today we're going to create the create and edit product. In the previous tutorial, we already created the all products design with the table. And whereas in today's tutorial, if you open the create product, you will see a change over here that this form is going to target the desktop screen and the mobile screen. Whereas the tablet, if you open the T site template, in the tablet, if we are not going to pass the tablet, which is the widget, if we are not going to pass it, is going to use the desktop widget, right? So this means that for the tablet, the desktop will be applied. So desktop is for tablet and for the desktop itself. And for the mobile, we are definitely going to change the design. So in the responsive screens, I have the tablet one, but it is not needed. If you want to delete it, you can do that as well. Okay, inside, first of all, the create product desktop screen. So first, let's talk about the layout. We have a scaffold at the top, then we have a bottom navigation bar in which we are going to create a widget called product bottom navigation, which contains two buttons, save changes and discard. Then we have a body with a single child scroll view to scroll the content. Then we have a spacing from all the sides. And then in the column, the main thing is started. First of all, we have the T breadcrumbs with heading. Return to previous screen is true because it is coming from all products. So whenever user is inside the create button, we want to allow or create a back arrow whenever it is pressed. We want to redirect to the previous screen, then some space, and then we have a main row. And inside the main row, you see we have two expanded widgets, means two columns. And on top of these two columns, we have the expanded widget. Why? Because we want to make sure that our design is responsive. And for the responsive design, we are using the expanded widget. Okay, if we talk about the first section, which is the left section, so let's open it. Inside, you can see, first of all, we need to handle the flex. If the device is the tablet screen, because remember, we are using the desktop for tablet and mobile as well. If the device is the tablet screen, we want to use this row layout or want to assign the left side as double as from the right side. Okay, and if it is the desktop screen, because remember this is only going to be used for the desktop and for the tablet, not for the mobile. So if it is a desktop screen, we want to give 3 times more space to this left column as compared to the right column. So we have a column over here. The first widget we are going to create is the title and description. Then add some space. Height is space between sections. And if you want to see this is tablet screen, this is the T device utils class, and this is a helper function which is using media query. Lot of context dot size dot width. If it is greater than the tablet screen size and less than the desktop screen size, which are the sizes, this is the tablet size, this is the desktop size. And if it lies inside, it is going to return true. And if it is going to return true, based on that, we have 2 and 3 values assigned. Okay, once we have the title and description widget. After that, we have a container for stock and pricing. First of all, it has a heading. Then it is going to use a widget product type widget, which is going to add two things to toggle if it is a variable product or a single product. So these are going to be radio buttons. Then we have a stock product, stock and pricing. If it is single product, then we're going to display this widget. Otherwise, this widget will be hidden. We are going to come back to these widgets as well. First of all, let's add a constant. And these are the product attributes, will be visible no matter if the product type is single or variable. And after this section where the stock and pricing is completed, add some space, and here we have all the variations. Variations will only be visible when we have the product type as variable. So we will see the logic inside here. And once this all the left side with the variations is completed, you can just create all the empty widgets inside this widgets. You can see I have all the widgets created. You can create all these widgets with all these names. Once you have created, we are going to add one by one data inside them. Okay, once this side is completed, we can close the expanded. Now let's talk about the right side. Because we have flex added on the left side, we do not need to manage that on the right side. So just expand it to shrink and expand the space horizontally. Then inside this column, first of all, is the product thumbnail, some spacing. Then in the T-rounded container, we have all product images and product additional images, means a slider where we are going to display all the additional images. Then again, some space and a product brand, then product categories, product visibility widget, which is going to have a video button again for published and draft, or you can say hidden. Then some space, and the design by this way will be completed. But if we talk about the mobile layout, inside this we have something changed. All the things at the top are same, but if we talk about the column, you see we have only one column because we want to stack all the widgets on top of each other. So in the mobile, we have a layout something like this. So in the create product, first of all, we have the breadcrumbs as you can see over here. Then in the create product, first of all, we have the product title and description. We have the basic information with the product title and description. Then we have stock pricing, product type widget. This is the stock pricing. This is a product type widget. So whenever single is selected, this section will be appeared. Product stock and pricing. Then we have product attributes. Also, the product attribute layout is now changed. Then we have all attributes displayed. After that, let's scroll a bit down. We have the product attributes. Then we have product variations. And this is the separate section. You can see it is not inside the stock and pricing. So if I am going to change the product type to variable, in that case, we can see all the product variations. Then we have product thumbnail image. You can change these widgets as well because these are simply widgets. We can place them anywhere we want. Then we have all products over here. Then we have product brand, product categories, and visibility. So brand, categories, and visibility. So this is what we are going to create now one by one. Okay, tablet is empty, just created, just the layout is created, nothing inside. If you want to delete it, you can do that. Okay, now inside the widgets, I have created these dart files. So we're going to talk about them one by one. So first of all is the title and description. To save the time, you can pause the video, you can add or copy all these values, but to save the time, I have added the code over here. So first of all, T-rounded container will go for all the widgets because we want to add some white space. If you see in the container, we have width, height, padding, margin. In the box decoration, we have the default radius, we have some border, we have the shadow over here. So these are the default values that are already applied. Just for the white background and some radius for all the same products or the same widgets. Then we have a form because we want to submit the text and description. So first, we're going to use the title. Each text or the each widget will contain a title with the same style and theme. Headline small, add some space, and the text form field. First text form field is a simple text form field, nothing changed. Product title. We have a validator. After that, we have the size box so that we can declare the height of this text form field because we want to make this text form field as multi-select. So if we see the text form field to create a multi-select, you have to make sure expands to true, max lines is null, text align will be start, keyboard type, this is important, to multi-line, and max lines are null. So this is important so that more content can be added. And based on these values, we can easily create multi-line. I am keep repeating multi-select, but it is multi-line text form field. So this is the declaration. Once title and description is created, inside the stock and pricing, the next widget is not the title but product type widget. So let's open it. It is over here, product type widget or dart. It is going to contain two type of radio buttons with the same group. So currently all the design is static. We have a title again, then we have the radio button with the single text. Group value is single, group value is single, product type variable, product type single, and its text. After that, we are going to move to the stock and pricing. Inside the stock and pricing, you are going to see one new thing, or maybe you are already familiar with this. So first of all, create a form. In the column, we have a stock, and you can see we have a fractionally sized box. This means that this is not a fixed sized box, but this is a fraction, means whenever the screen is going to be changed, it's not a width, it's a width factor, means it is going to apply 0.45, means 45% of the complete width. So whenever the screen is going to be shrink smaller and smaller, this text form field is going to be shrink itself as well using this fractionally sized box. So we mostly use these type of widgets for the responsiveness. Then inside the text form field, we have a decoration validator. Keyboard is number because we only want to allow the user to enter the stock, which is numbers. This is the input formatter. You can use text input formatter, and then we can add multiple, but I am just going to use filtering text input formatter dot digits only. This is going to make sure that you cannot enter anything else other than numbers. Then we have a row, and inside the row we have the pricing and or the price and the discounted price. First of all, we have inside the row, we have expanded to make it responsive. First text form field, decoration, validator, keyboard type is now not just numbers, but text input type dot numbers with options, decimal true. This means we also want to allow the user to add decimals up to 2 points, right? So we have to change the input text formatter and we have to allow the regex means you can add up to 2 decimals with a dot, right? The same goes for the discounted price. And by this way, we have stock and pricing widget is completed. Make sure to double check while writing all the things. Next, we have product attributes. If you click on them, we have a column for all the attributes. Now to add the attribute, if you see the design, we have the add product attribute. We have a text field first and the second text field for other attributes. And then we have a plus button. After that, we have all attributes list. So first of all, the title, then in the form, we have a row. In the row, because you can see we have in a one single row, we have a two text fields and then we have one button. So in the row, we have expanded build attribute name. This is again a text field. I have created a separate function because we have to layout it differently because at the top you can see if the device is the desktop screen, in that case we want to display attributes in a one single row. But if it is not a desktop screen, it is a tablet, then we want to use this layout, right? In the column, we want to, instead of row, we want to stack all the things vertically. So instead of repeating the code, I have created a function which is going to use a single code for text form field. For the row, we have the expanded widget for the attribute, but the second one is expanded with the flex to, means it is going to take the double space as compared to this widget and this widget, right? And then at the bottom, we have the attribute button. But for the vertical design, we do not have any expanded because we just want to keep all the text form fields, take all the available space. Then we have build add attribute button. First, see the attribute name. This is a text form field, simple text form field again, the second one, but this is again expanded, max lines null, its height is just 80 and rest is same as the previous one. And then we have the attribute button over here, size box is 100, elevated button dot icon is used because we just want to add the add icon or the plus sign, and then the label is add. This is the style. Okay, once this form is created, after that we have list of attributes, and for the list of attributes I'm using another t-rounded container. Change the background color. This is the primary background that I am using. You can again get all these assets free of cost from codingwitht.com from the same product list. Just choose the variation of admin panel starter kit and everything will be included. After that, we have the build attributes list and build empty attributes. Definitely, we are going to show one of this function, either the empty attributes or the list of attributes, but just for the design. Currently, we have the both list. First of all, see this function. It is using list view dot separated. Shrink wrap is true. Item count is 3. Then we have item builder, add space between each list tile. And then in the item builder, we have a container. This is the decoration. Then list tile, we have, this is the title, subtitle, and trailing icon. Trailing icon will have the trash icon or it has a trash icon, but we are going to remove this tile if required. After that, we have build empty attributes. This is just a design. It contains a row with the image in it. And then we have some space and a text, no attributes added for this product. And by this way, all the attributes widget is now completed. The last thing, we have some space and a button, generate variations button. So this is the button we will only display if the product type is variable. So just for the design, it has a button, generate variations. It is doing nothing. Okay, so this one is completed. We are going to complete this one, then add some space, and we are going to talk about the product variations now. So this is the product variations. If you see the product variations, again, this is a separate rounded container with the title. Over here, we have a button remove variations. So whenever it is going to be pressed, we will show the pop-up to remove all the variations. But down below, you can see we have 4 variations dynamically created. Each variation title is its color, green, size, small means key and value, from this pair, and whenever it is going to be opened, it has its own form with the image, stock, price, discounted price, and description. So we have these four or dynamically created as much attributes as much we have, we will create dynamic variations. First of all, we have a row with the title and a text button to remove the variations. Then we have list view dot separated to contain or to create a list. Currently, for the static design, we have item 2, string Firebase 2, item builder to add some space, separator builder, sorry. Then item builder is going to build variation tile and then no variation message or the empty variations. So again, if the list of variations are being displayed, this is not going to be displayed, but for the design, we have to create it. So let's see, first of all, the empty one. It is again a row with the image, space, and a text. But now if we see the main variation tile, we are using the expansion tile to toggle the tile, and we will only display whenever required or when the user click on it to view the details instead of opening all the content. So this thing is going to go for the design. Then we have a title. This title will be dynamic, but for now we have color green and comma. Then we have size small, size as small. So this is how the title will be for each expansion tile. Then for its children, first thing is the image uploader to display that image, then some space, then inside the row by using again the expanded, expanded, and expanded. This is the text form field for the number, input type, keyboard type is number, input formatters. This is input formatter again. This is the keyboard type. So once the variation, stock, and pricing is created, then we have the description. And by this way, we will complete our expansion tile. We will see how the backend will work in the upcoming tutorials, but for now, the left part is completed. Okay, now let's talk about the thumbnail widget. In the thumbnail widget, you can see first of all, we have a rounded container, column, title, and then in the rounded container again for the image and button, we have a fixed height of 300, background color, center, column. Again, we are using the row so that row can take all the space, and using the row property, we can make the image in the center. Then in the expanded to make the image responsive, no matter if we have the row or center or whatever. We have the T-rounded image, width and height is 220 and 220. Then image is currently static image. Image type is asset. Later on, we will display the image type as network. Then we have a button size box 200, outline button, and add thumbnail is the text of the button. Once the thumbnail widget is created, let's scroll a bit down. Thumbnail widget is created inside this expanded column. We are going to talk about, okay, create the T-rounded container for the rounded image, and then we have a title for all product images, and this is the widget that we want to create. Product additional images. We're going to pass all the product image URL that are going to display over here from the main screen. Then we have on tab to add images and on tab to remove image. Okay, first of all, we have a size box. Height is 300. Previously, I mistakenly added the OBX, which is not required in this case. So size boxed with the height of 300. In the column, first of all, we're going to add a selection to add additional product images, which has an icon. As you can see, an icon or the image with the text. So inside the column, I am using expanded, flex is 2. Because we have the height as 300, that's why we can use the expanded in the column. Otherwise, it is going to throw an exception with the unlimited height, or the pixel will keep going without any limit in the vertical direction. So the flex is 2. The reason to add flex 2, as if you see over here, the first one is this section, the white section after the heading, and the second section is this one with the lists can be scrolled in the horizontal direction. So we have two sections. So this section is taking double space as compared to this one. So that's why we have expanded to 2. In the gesture detector, on tap will lead to add images again, because when I'm going to tap over here, you can see the media screen appeared. And also when I'm going to tap on this button, again, the same media screen is appeared. So we have T-rounded container. In the center column, we are going to add one image and a text. Next, for the second section, we have a row, because inside the row, we first want to add all the uploaded images. So expanded flex 2 means now this thing is going to take the double space as compared to this one. So flex 2, then as a child size box, height is 80. Then for all the list of images, we're going to create a separate function and add some space and a rounded button, which is this T rounded plus button. Its child is simply an icon, and whenever it is going to be tapped, we are going to add images again. So if you see this function upload images or empty list, it is going to check additional product images if it is empty or not. Don't worry about this variable. What we can do is we can remove this, we can also overcome this empty list. Instead of showing uploaded images, we are currently going to display the empty list because we do not have anything in it. So for the empty list, we have list view dot separated, item count is 6, scroll direction is horizontal, separator builder with the size box, and then item builder to build t-rounded container with the width and height of 80 cross 80. Background is this one, and inside this empty list we do not have any image, right? So for the uploaded image, we are going to use again the separated widget, same scroll direction, item count will be dynamically selected with these variables, so currently not added, don't worry about them. Then for the separator builder, we are going to add some space. Item builder is going to get the current selected image, and then in the T image uploader, we're going to display the same width and height. Top right is 00 because T image uploader also use a stack and a position icon to display the icon like this so that we can delete it. So top and right is 0 to place that icon. Width and height of the image is 80 cross 80. Left and bottom is 0, sorry, null. Pass the image, pass the icon as trash. Image type is network. On icon button pressed, we want to remove that icon from the list. So with this way, we are done with our additional images widget as well. Now it's time to create the brand widget. But for the brand widget, you see when I'm going to select this, we have all the list over here and we can choose only one brand from this list. For this, again, use TRoundedContainer. Then in the column, we have a title, and over here we are using the new thing, which is type a head field, right? This means that when I'm going to type only one thing, it is going to suggest me all the list, and based on that list, we are going to select one single item. So again, let's click on it. Currently, you can see Samsung is written in the field, so that's why we can see the Samsung only. But when I'm going to remove this, I can see all the available space. Let's search for Nike, and you can see the Nike is over here. I can select it. Now to add the type ahead field, you have to go to the pubspec.yaml file. Inside, you have to use this widget, which is Flutter type ahead. You can get that widget from the pub.dev, and also you can add the multi-select Flutter widget, which is going to use to select multiple categories. So make sure to add these two widgets. And for the type ahead widget, we're going to use the builder, its context, controller, and focus node. We're going to return the text form field from here. This is the focus node as it is. Decoration for the text form field, outline border, label, suffix icon, and for the suggestions callback, we have to implement this pattern. Currently, I have added two static brands, but definitely we're going to get the dynamic list of brands from here. Based on these brands, we will select one of them. Then we have item builder. It is going to build the list style with the text as suggestion.name. On selected is currently empty. Once the brand is completed, let's create the product categories. For that, again, t-rounded container with the column, title, space, and multi-select dialog field. So in the pub spec, we have to add this widget. And using that widget, we will be able to use the multi-select dialog. Button text is select categories, title is categories. This is the items. Again, static items showing category model. For the multi-select item, we have to pass two things. First one is category model, second one is string. So the first thing is category model, then comma, then the string or the label itself. So based on this label, this category model will be selected. List type is chip. You can change the list type as well. Values, list, and chip. So on confirm is not going to do anything. And now the last widget, which is the product visibility widget. It is again using the t-rounded container, then the column with the text, spacing, again a column, build visibility radio button, two buttons, first with the publish, second one with the hidden. This is the function. This is going to receive the value and a label. Actually, it is a radio button. This is its value. The group value is published. On change is empty, and the child text will be passed from here, which is hidden or published. And if we want to see the bottom navigation widget, this is using t-rounded container to take all the available space. We're using row, and we're going to place all the elements at the end of the row using the main axis alignment. And then in the children, we have two buttons, the first button with the space and the second button with the elevated button. First one is the outline button with the discard. Discard is not doing anything currently. Save changes are going to save the changes, but you can add your functionality over here. So we're going to currently copy the same widgets to the edit screen, and the edit screen is again using the product desktop and the mobile design. Same layout, everything is same, but over here we are going to get the product from the edit screen, and we're going to pass the product wherever needed. We will cover that inside our backend tutorial. So Now it's time to run this application. Okay, our application is running now. Let's try to add email and password. Click on sign in. Okay, we are logged in and let's go to the products. Click on this add product button and you can see the complete design is right in front of us. We have the title, we have the same description, we can add multi lines. We have the add thumbnail button, currently not doing anything. We have add additional images. Currently they are not toggleable, but we have single and variable product displaying stock pricing, attributes, all the attributes, empty widget for the attributes, generate variation button, variations, and definitely there is no variation added, empty variation. So one of them will be displayed and also one of them will be displayed from the attributes. Over here we have the visibility. They are not toggleable, but we have the categories. Two categories can be selected. Added over here, we have a brand, dummy brands, Adidas or Nike. They're not selectable yet. So down below we have discard and save changes button. So that's what we wanted to create. Same goes for the edit screen. If we edit something, you can see all the design is same. We just have to pass the data and that's what we wanted to create. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new and that's it for today's tutorial. If you have any questions, you can ask me down in the comments, and if you want to download the complete code, again, link is in the description, and also you can watch the complete e-commerce app and admin panel playlist from the link available in the description. Thank you for watching and take care.